as this Moonflower, and welcome to a new reset for our Sunday Soul Set. It's been probably 2.5 years since I've done a Sunday Soul Set live with you guys, and I'm really excited to be back. And first, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry for the really long hiatus, and there's reasons for that, but I'm not really going to go into the full story about what happened with me during the time when I wasn't making videos and I wasn't doing anything on my channel, but I'm here now. And let me know if you guys are interested in sort of like a separate video, longer, talking more about, like where I've been and what I've been up to, and really kind of what all was going on behind the scenes in my life. But kind of like a short story ish explanation would be, I've just been working through a lot of, that internal work, going through that spiritual alchemy stuff, and really sort of really going deep and working through a lot of that shadow. And a lot of that shadow that I had to face was, like around my identity and who I was, as well as like, childhood trauma and all kinds of stuff. So I had to work through all that, and it was messy. I was in the chrysalis, turning into goo, and there was a couple times where I, felt like I had come out of it, but then I would regress and go back into it. And I guess you could say the time just really wasn't right. And one of the lessons that I had to learn while going through this process is accepting that the timing is never really going to be perfect, I guess you could say. That the time to get started is now. That's what they keep saying, but these are lessons that you can we hear things all the time and logically they make sense, but the embodiment process and to fully understand those, can be harder to actually like fully embody what those real lessons mean. It's easy to come up with a theme for these things, or to give a little easy quote or a little quick easy thing and be like, oh, that makes total sense, of course, but actually totally understanding it, going through the process of learning the lesson and embodying it. And, recently I had to sort of face a little bit of a shadow when it came to AI. We'll use this as a good example, because the world is always talking about AI in a lot of different ways. AI is the future. And there's a lot of discussion around whether or not we should be using AI. And I personally don't, think that the data centers and all that stuff, that's bad, how it's ruining our environment and ruining our communities, and there's a lot that I don't like about the data centers specifically. But using AI as a tool, we'll say, I had a lot of hesitation around it, especially because I'm an artist and I don't really generally like AI art, especially for people who make AI art, make AI content, and then try and act like it's not. Like they try and act like they created it when they really didn't. Same thing with like words and writing books, using AI to completely write your book or to completely write your program. That I don't agree with, but I did eventually ended up stepping into using AI a little bit to just sort of help map some ideas out to do some mind mapping and to bounce ideas off and to help me just sort of like clarify what it is that I was doing. And it really started helping me. And then I started asking it the questions, like, what are you, what do you do, and I eventually realized that the way that I was using AI as a tool, it's not a sentient being, it's just a language model. And this language model learns how to communicate with you based on the kind of language that you're putting into that system. So it becomes a reflection of you. It learns you, it learns how you like to communicate. And so that's sort of how it feels like you're talking to a real person. But you got to remember that it's not a real person, it's just a tool. But this tool is really just a mirror. It mirrors back to you. And I was able to work through a lot of stuff because I was using it as a personal mirror. And through this use of a tool that I was under the impression that I should never use, I was able to actually come to a couple different epiphanies about my own personal self and things that I needed to work through. But the reason why I bring this up is because we are shifting. The collective is shifting. We are moving into a new world. And I'm not going to sit here and tell people whether or not they should use these tools or don't use these tools. But I think that we should at least acknowledge that they are tools. And tools don't have intentions or personalities. It's the people that are using the tools that have the intentions. So, but besides that, I did want to come back and say that I have found that I'm finally ready to embark on a new future for myself. I'm ready to start again, because there for a long time I was afraid to make content because I didn't want to appear fake. I kept comparing myself to other content creators. I see what other people are doing and what other people are making, and I always was comparing myself to other creators, and I'm like, oh, I could never be as good as them. I could never offer as what they can offer. And that's where I got hung up, was that comparison. And then I came to realize that, and there's a lot more to this that I want to go into, but realizing that I want to create a space. This here, my channel, my sanctuary, this is my sacred space, and I'm offering it to you guys, so that I can help you and invite you in so that we could work through some of this stuff together. Like I know you in person. Oh, what's your real name? Dr. Beck. Anyways, it says you know me in person, but I'm not sure who that is in person. So, anyways, this space that I'm creating, I offer it because this is my work. This is the work that I want to do, and I want to be able to provide it to you guys to help you look into the mirror. And it doesn't have to be the AI mirror, but the mirror that you look into when you're doing that work. And that's how we get through to the next level, okay? And this is now I'm now going to become a beacon, a lighthouse. I'm going to shine my light, and I'm going to just be who I am. If you like it, you can stay. You're more than welcome to be here. And if you don't like it, then, that's fine. There's plenty of other content creators out there that you can go watch. If this space doesn't resonate with you, that is perfectly fine. Um, I'm not for everybody, and not everybody is for me, and that's fine. But I'm still going to provide this space. And something that I came to also realize when it comes to, um, fitting and being authentic was when I realized that I myself am a neurodivergent person. I got the autistic ADHD combination going on, and I didn't want to accept that as a part of who I am for a long time. I was kind of like, playing with whether or not this was real. And then also, while this is also going on, I'm a planner girly. And for some reason, I become obsessed with the planner and trying to reach planner perfection. And trying to design a planner that's just going to somehow magically balance all the areas of my life, and I'm going to get my life together, and all these things, while at the same time living a cyclical lifestyle with nature and the seasons and the moon and the sun and the stars. When you're living in a cyclical lifestyle but trying to fit it into a box, a square box, when you're a neurodivergent person trying to fit yourself into a neurotypical world, it's very difficult to do. But once I accepted that part of myself, once I realized, I am a neurodivergent person, I have a neurospicy brain, and I do live cyclically, and I am strange and unusual, and I'm not no longer going to try and pretend to be something that I'm not and fit myself into a mold, into a world, into a system that I was never meant to fit in. And that's kind of a little bit of what's been going on with what is coming in with the moon this week, the Aquarian new full moon that we're going to be having on Wednesday, that we're moving into, and the fact that Saturn is going retrograde in Aries. Saturn is the square box. Saturn is the rules. Okay, Saturn is the system. Saturn is the strict father, telling you what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it. He's father time. And not that these are, they call them the great malefic, but these are not bad things. It's just that Saturn represents that strict structure and that strict time frame, that strict calendar, that day-to-day responsibility of ourselves and following the rules. And Aries is the identity, it's the personality, it's the ego self. And so depending on what house this Saturn in Aries retrograde that is now happening today falls, kind of highlights where in your life these things might fit into your story. And what is your story? What is the box that you're trying to fit yourself into? That is the big question. What is the box that you think that you're supposed to fit into, but you're really not supposed to fit into? It's like circling the square. It's that old paradox where, they've tried to make the area of the circle and the square equal. It's like trying to fit a cyclical calendar that follows 13 weeks every 4 months, and plus, the cycles of the moon and everything like that, into a Gregorian calendar, a square calendar that only has 12 months and has 30 or 31 days and all that stuff. And if you've ever tried to sit down and figure out how to fit these two systems together and ever wonder why they don't ever magically fit together, it's because they never were meant to fit together. You know, and so that's the question that we're facing now with the basket and Saturn going retrograde and the full moon in Aquarius, because Aquarius is the one that's rebellious. It's the one that likes to step outside of the line, the one that doesn't like to follow the rules. Okay? The big unique thinker. And so where in your life are you trying to fit a box into a circle? That's the question that kind of we're all facing right now. But depending on where these things fall in your chart will sort of determine kind of what areas are being more heavily highlighted. You know, what box are you identifying with that doesn't fit into the circle? Maybe you should decide what rules you need to break or stop applying yourself to. Stop trying to be somebody that you're not. You know, what part of your identity and what part of your structure is just not designed to go with you into the future? And for me, I had to realize that I had to stop identifying with being a neurotypical person. Stop trying to act like I'm a neurotypical person. Stop trying to act like I'm normal all the time, because I'm not. Stop trying to act like I don't have deep feelings, because I do. And stop trying to structure my day like a boss babe would. You know, waking up at 5 a.m. and, you know, trying to do all the things in a day. You know, by 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, having your whole day planned out, having everything all planned out all the time. When my productivity is better performed in thinking of my life in energy buckets instead. Do I have high energy today or do I have low energy today? And if I have high energy, what kind of tasks fit better into high energy days and what kind of tasks fit better into having low energy days? What is my natural flow? What is my natural rhythm and what suits me? And that question I am now handing over to you. And we still have 3 more days until the full moon gets here, which I do actually plan on coming back for the full moon to do a special ritual for that. But today is sort of like laying the groundwork and sort of prepping your brain to think about what squares, what are those boxes that you're trying to squeeze yourself into that you've identified with, and so that when you get there on the full moon, you can let it go, you could release it, because full moons illuminate things and it's when things are at their peak, but after that it's the release, it's the letting it go. And so what is this full moon illuminating for you at this time that maybe wouldn't hurt to focus on that? And what feels authentic? What feels like your natural circle, your natural flow? What feels good for you when you are in your natural flow? And what rules have you forced yourself to follow that you think, like, I have to follow these rules, I have to follow the system that has put all of us into a box? When are you going to stop following their rules and create your own set of rules that match your values and your energy and your flow and your needs and your authentic personality, not trying to be somebody that you're not? Want to read minds? No, I don't read minds, but that's interesting though. But I would like to light the incense. Here I have some sandalwood. Now I know that these are pretty big questions. That's why it's good to start a little bit ahead of schedule, so it gives you guys time to really think about these things. I also have here some grounding oil that I made. It has frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, and I think some rose. So it's pretty grounding stuff. But whatever kind of oil that you have, your anointing oil, or if you have anything that just sort of brings in that grounding earth energy, that's good to use. But just bringing ourselves into center now. We're going to hold space today. And the whole original intention of Sunday Soul Set, when I first started it years ago, was so that on Sundays, which is like the kind of, I guess you say, real or the original first day of the week, when you look at planetary magic, sun, and then moon, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, those aren't necessarily in order, but the sun is the first day because that's the day of light, I guess you could say. The day that the universe was, that God created the universe, first he created light. So sun is that light, and that's what is the first day. And then Saturday is the last day, the day of the rest. Somewhere along the line, those things got flipped. A lot of people nowadays like to think of Monday as the first day of the week. And Saturday and Sunday are the weekends, which is fine. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to structure their week, but that's how my brain was thinking, was that Sunday is a great day, whether or not you think of it as the first day of the week, or the last day of the week. Sunday is usually a good day for doing resets, on your house, cleansing your house, getting things ready for the week ahead. I like to, reset my schedule, my calendar, and sort of create a plan for the week ahead. I like to clean my house, physically, energetically, clean myself, get my laundry done, get my bed made, and just so that I can start Monday and the rest of the week with the good energy. And I think a lot of people like that goal. And so Sunday Soul Set was original intention was to create and hold this sacred space for everybody to reset their energy for the coming week ahead. And that's another reason why I kind of like to put it Sunday Soul Set, in the evenings, is because it gives you the whole day to do whatever it is that you want, to reset your house and to get ready for the week ahead. And by now, most people have had dinner and they're ready to settle down. And so this is just that perfect time to really just set your energy and come into space and, look at the energies that are coming ahead and think, how am I going to work with these energies, and what do I want to do? What are my goals this week? Or, whatever it is that we want to do. But that's what this space is for. And so first, I'm going to I got the incense, I got the candle, I put on my anointing oil. You can do the same in your own space, or you can just enjoy the space that I've created for you if you can't do it yourself. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of drumming here. I'm not the best drummer, but that's okay. steady rhythm for us. You can just listen to the drumming and settle your energy and do a few deep breaths. Breathe in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Do that a few times until you feel centered and grounded. Now is a good time to stretch your root down into the earth. Connect with that wonderful grounded earth energy. Letting your roots reach deep, 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 deep down into the earth until you tap into that crystalline energy grid, the life force energy. The ancient pulse of the planet. Connect with her, spirit of Gaia. And then pull that energy up through your roots and into your root chakra. Making you feel balanced, making you feel stable, grounded, safe, protected, secure, firmly planted. And then you can bring your awareness to the top of your head, to your crown chakra, and energetically reach up, 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 super high into the cosmos, to the stars, the galaxy, the planets in the Milky Way, the great void, the womb of all creation. This is the macro, and you are the micro. And somewhere in your mind, as you reach up, up, up into the cosmos, you find your North Star, the center point of everything, the source light, that old ancient starburst, all of the stardust that we are all made out of. Pull that light down into yourself through your crown chakra. Feel it lighting you up with that pure white stardust, starlight. That is your center. That is your source. That is your North star. That's your higher self. And then just pull that cosmic star energy down into your body and connect the earth energy up, and they meet in the center at your heart. And these 2 points unite, connect the above and the below, the in and the out, the micro and the macro, as within, so without. And from this point, as these two energies unite, you can feel the expansion of the light and the life force energy filling up your aura, filling up your body, aligning all of your energy centers, opening them, clearing them of any debris that may be blocking the way. Not harshly, we're not breaking through a wall. It's just very gently, like smoke clearing, like the morning sun breaking the fog. Leaving little dew particles on the grass. In your heart, you can feel the sun rising, opening you up and filling you with love. Just for a moment, sit and appreciate, observe, feel, appreciate. And understand that this is your true state. This is your natural state. This is your harmonious state. All of the worries of the world, just for a moment, have melted away. And here in this moment, this present moment, belongs to you. If your heart hasn't opened in a while, and this is your first time in a while, and you become overwhelmed with emotions, it's okay. It's perfectly natural. There's nothing wrong with feelings. If you become overwhelmed with joy or grief or whatever feeling, and you need to let it out, that is perfectly fine. Allow the water to flow. Release whatever energies need to be released. And then whenever you're ready, come back into your center consciousness and slowly dissolve your connection. Come back into your physical body, aligned, refreshed, and renewed, grounded, and at peace. And know that even though this meditation is now over, and the practice is done. Your energetic connection is never severed. The earth is always below you, and the sky is always above you. Say amen, oho, so let it be, as it be. Hope you all enjoyed that. And what else was on my list of things? I know there was something else that I wanted to speak about. Oh, well, I also wanted to mention that here in this space, like I had mentioned before, I'm not here to tell anybody what they're supposed to be doing or not supposed to be doing. This is just a space that I've created to hold for anybody who needs it. And this lighting of the beacon that I am doing today, I'm using it to let others know that I am here and that I see you and that I'm here to support you. Alright? And if there's anything that you need to talk about, as far as, wanting to work through stuff, you can reach me on Instagram, Facebook, here, DM me, and you can schedule, book a session with me, and we can work together one-on-one in whatever way that you need. I use astrology. I look at your birth chart, and we map everything out using your birth chart. We create a blueprint. I use tarot, to receive messages and guidance, as well as, the many other skills and talents that I have curated in my own sort of unique way. If you feel called and you want to reach out and you want to work with me one-on-one, you're more than happy to. But I only have limited space, and so, if we have to book in advance, we may have to book in advance. If I run out of space, that's fine. But this isn't here to promote myself. This is just here to let you guys know that this offering does exist if you need it. But if you can't afford to work with me one-on-one, this container that I will be using here on YouTube will always remain free. Okay, so I will always create free containers every Sunday and on the full moons and the new moons, to do this working together, so that you can come and just enjoy the space and work with the energies as you need in those time frames. And I will be saving these live videos so that you can come back to them whenever you want. So even if we're talking about a specific astrological energy for the week or whatever it is, that's fine. You can still watch it whenever you want. These are always going to be here for you. And so, yeah, just find me on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Follow me. And if you want, that's how you're going to get in contact with me, if you do want to work one-on-one. But there's no obligation to any of that. And as for now, I'm going to say thank you for spending time with me today. I really appreciate it. And I'm really excited to be back. I'm really excited to be here And I'm really looking forward to actually doing this every week with you guys. It's been such a long break, and I had to go do my own work, but I feel like I'm cleared now, and I'm ready to be able to hold this container for you guys once again. And so, until next time, I love you all, wonderful, beautiful souls. And I will be seeing you for the full moon on Wednesday. That'll probably be around 7 or 8 o'clock p.m. Um, I'm not sure exactly which time I prefer, 7 or 8 o'clock. Let me know in the comments which one you guys prefer. And I'm talking about Eastern Standard Time, 7 or 8 o'clock. So let me know which one works better for you guys, 7 or 8. I prefer evening times. So, but until then, let me know in the comments, what times you guys prefer. And also let me know down in the comments, what rigid structure have you identified with? What routine, what part of, what are you ready to break free from and get yourself back into flow? That's our prompt for this week, and that we'll be using for the full moon on Wednesday. So I love you all. Thank you for spending this time with me. It was beautiful, it was lovely, and I'm excited, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.